Hey guys, we're back at the Strikers Corners. This is Jonathan David. I'm here with Cyle Larin, and this was a podcast created to speak about football, off the pitch, on the pitch, everything in between. And today we have a special guest with us, Stephen Eustaquio. Welcome.
Thank you.
And make sure to leave a comment, like, and subscribe to not miss any videos. And just before we start, I want to address my situation of not moving. So yeah, obviously there was a lot of rumors this summer, a lot of clubs and why I actually ended up staying. So there was a couple offers. Obviously, I spoke to a couple of different clubs, had meetings with them. And yeah, meetings went well, but ultimately, we didn't find a solution. And I think me staying in Lille is never something bad because obviously I've been for a long time there. I think I get my goals. I enjoy the team, the city, and even more so now that I can say, we qualify for Champions League. So I think in the end, it's only a win-win situation. So let's start with you.
Okay.
So where do we start? Introduce yourself a little bit on where you grew up, where you started to play and everything like that.
So I was born in Canada, Leamington, Ontario.
Where's that?
That's near Windsor.
Windsor, okay.
Yeah. Small town, to be honest, but very humble people and hardworking.
It's everywhere in Canada.
Huh?
Everywhere in Canada.
Yeah. And I was born there. Then I went to Portugal when I was 7 years old. Obviously, because my parents are Portuguese.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically did my whole youth system in Portugal. Pretty much played in all Portuguese divisions, like district, third division, second division, first division. Then had a transfer to Cruz Azul in Mexico. Obviously, because of my injury, had to come back to Portugal to regain confidence and all that. Did pretty well. Now I'm at Porto. Born in Canada. All my family is Portuguese. My brother's Portuguese. Have a couple of friends back in Canada as well. Yeah, pretty much.
Just to go back a little bit, you left when you said 7, 8?
7.
So when did you start getting in soccer in Portugal, and did you first enter an academy in Portugal? Like I don't know a lot. Maybe were you in Sporting Academy, Benfica Academy, or anything like that?
No, basically when I went to Portugal, I started playing in a club called Dos Nazarenes. So that's a club that is located in Nazaré. That's my town in Portugal.
Yeah. Very
Very small village. I think about 15 to 20,000 people. Local, fish village. And I started playing there, pretty much amateur level.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was good. Had a lot of friends, knew what it is about to play as a team and all that. And then basically, I think when I was about 13, 14 years old, that's where I really started to understand, okay, probably this is what I really want to do. But it's a small village. We have a big beach there, so it was beach soccer during the summer. During the winter was soccer. Obviously, when you're at school, you play all these different sports, handball, volleyball, whatever. Yeah, but basically, soccer was my thing back then. Yeah.
So you played basically amateur football.
Yeah.
Until you moved to Mexico.
No. So what happened was I played in Nazarenes amateur football, soccer, whatever, until I was around 15. This is the youth system, right?
Yeah.
And then basically they do a selection to, let's call it the province, the best players of the province play against other provinces.
Okay, yeah.
So I was selected to the team of Leiria. And then that team of Leiria plays against, the district of Lisboa, Porto, whatever. And basically the best players of the region goes to that selection. And then Leiria, which was a first division club back then, goes to that team and gets all the best guys. So I moved to Leiria when I was 15, did my, I think until under 19, I was at Leiria. Obviously the club had a couple of financial problems. Then I moved to Torriense. No, sorry, I'm wrong. I moved back to Nazarense.
Yeah.
So that's where I was starting my first team career at UJ Nazarense.
What age?
This was, I was 19.
Okay.
18, 19 probably, yeah. So lowest level in Portugal.
Yeah.
Right? Do good in the first team. Then I moved back to the under 19s because I was playing for the first team, but I was still under 18. Moved to a club called Torriense at under 19, and then played at the first team there. This is third division, Torriense, right? So I do 2 years there at the first team, do pretty well as well, and I go to a team at the second division up north called E06. I'm there 6 months. Obviously, it went well, and I was at the time the biggest transfer of the club. So I moved to Chaves, where Stephen Vitória played. You know this?
Yeah.
For $500,000. I was at Chaves for 1 year, and then I moved to Mexico to Cruz Azul for $3.5 million for 50% of my pass. Got a knee injury in the second game in Mexico. So listen to this story. I bet you guys don't know this. So I play for Cruz Azul. First game for the cup, we go to Alebrijes, something like that. In the second division, I start, come out 60 minutes, game done, go back. We're in Mexico City. We train. We have a game at home against Tijuana, right? I'm at the bench. I'm playing at Azteca. We already played there with the national team. You guys know this. I enter, I think, 60, 70, something like that. So I'm hungry, right? I want to show. So this is what happens. Center back passes the ball to the guy, and it goes like kind of to my right, and I'm just like, I can get to this ball. So it kind of stretched a little bit, and I kind of did a tackle.
Yeah.
And like my legs, I didn't touch him, but it looked like it was dangerous, right? Like I just flips over, blah, 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 blah. Ref, red card. This was like 4 minutes after I went in, red card. And I'm like, what is happening? Why did I do this? Like my first game, blah, blah, this and that. This is a big club, this and that. Blah, blah. But I knew I didn't touch him, right? So I go to the ref. I said, I didn't touch him. Go see VAR. That's what he does, right?
That VAR at this time?
I had VAR.
Oh, yeah.
He goes to VAR.
In the Mexican league, they had it?
Yeah. He goes to VAR, comes back, gives me a yellow, right? Takes out my red, gives me a yellow. And then 10 minutes later, I do my ACL.
Would have been better to just go off red card,
I
huh?
had 50 red cards back then, bro. Did my ACL whole year, injury, and then the coach changed. A couple of situations happened. Came back to Paços de Ferreira. Then I did 2 pretty good seasons there, and then I moved to Porto. Yeah.
And how did you manage that injury? Because obviously I knew a couple of players that had that injury, and I see what it did to them. And like for me, I had a friend when I was back in Belgium. He had an ACL injury, and he was crying like, I wouldn't say every night, but he was crying at night, and he had trouble sleeping, was hurting. So how did you manage that? And how was it like for you?
It was a hard situation because, like obviously the injury by itself, it's very hard, right? You're 6-8 months, whatever, out. You don't know if you're gonna be the same player, because it's a knee injury. It's hard to come back. But my issue was like, I just made a move, right? I'm costing the club money, and they want you to perform. Especially like Mexican teams, they have a lot of good players. They have quality and all that. But every player that comes from Europe, like you're supposed to
Yeah.
to make the difference, right?
Yeah, there's more pressure on you.
Oh, for sure, like 100%, and they shouldn't, to be honest, because Mexican players, there's a lot of good Mexican players. So I was like, wow, this team just paid this for me. Now I'm injured. This is 8 months, blah blah. Like a lot of pressure in my head. Then I didn't even have a house yet. I was living at the hotel.
Yeah.
My girlfriend was there because when we moved, when I went there and all that, she went there just to be with me a couple of weeks. Then she was gonna go back because she was studying. But I was by myself, bro, and I'm like, I get surgery. I'm living at a hotel.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's like studying in Portugal. Like I'm by myself. My parents aren't with me. It's not like I went from Portugal to Spain where it's just an hour distance. Like I'm in Mexico City. Like food is different, weather is different, people is different, language is different. Like it was a big change for me. And then to be honest, I was like petrified. Like, is this gonna go well? Like a lot of pressure for me and this and that. But my main concern was, am I ever gonna be like the same, at least the same Stefan? You know what I mean?
I think you're a better Stefan now.
Only he knows, huh?
Like,
Only
you
he
look-
knows.
You know what,
Came
bro?
to the national team,
Yeah,
captain.
of course, but we never know what could have happened
Played World
before.
Cup,
Huh?
Megan De Bruyne. What do you mean?
You know what, bro? To be honest, I wouldn't change nothing because
You
I
wouldn't
was
be-
a kid back then,
Yeah.
but I had no gym routines. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I had no food routines. Didn't know nothing about nutrition.
Yeah,
nothing.
but this is
It's normal.
Yeah, it's very normal.
I understand. But at the same time, this injury made me go back to the gym, get stronger, get quicker, everything. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm happy because I know that right now I'm in a better situation. But back then, it was a scary stage. Yeah.
Probably made you stronger
Yeah, for sure.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
in life and football.
Yeah.
So why Canada? You know, why pick Canada for your national team? Obviously, you had Portugal as an option also. So why us? Why this time, 2019? Why not at that moment?
Yeah. So my first game after the injury was with Canada. My first official game was in the States in
the
Orlando.
second game, Orlando,
Exactly.
yeah.
That was my first game after the injury. So I'm with the under 21 of Portugal. I'm doing the Euro campaign. Unfortunately, we don't go to the final stage. And I played with Canada when I was under 17, I believe.
And do you have any players that you recognize that we might know from now that you played with?
When at the under 17,
Yeah.
I know a couple of players like Jordan Hamilton was our striker.
Okay.
Kians Forez, midfielder Marco Bustos, Alex Comcia, Marco Carducci, the
Where was
keeper.
this? Where was this camp? U17 camp?
Where was it? Was in Spain, AGS Cup.
I was in there. I'm
You-
older than you, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
You're my son.
You're way older than you. Hansen Boakai, all these players. So I played for Canada,
Yeah.
and then one camp didn't get selected at all
For Canada?
for Canada at all. So there was a World Cup under 17, blah blah.
What? Yeah, well, keep going.
I wanted to go, nothing, no selection under 18, nothing under 19, nothing under 20, under 19.
I didn't get selected for any of the younger.
Yeah,
years,
under
There's something going on back then. Did you get selected?
Yeah, I was there.
You was
man.
there?
I
Okay, okay.
I was
Where were you
always
playing?
there.
Where were you playing?
Where?
In
At
Canada.
the time? Yeah, in Canada.
It's
yeah.
easier, no? When you're in Europe, like I don't know.
Yeah,
if-
but
I think when you're younger in Europe, it's a lot harder to
Yeah.
because I think they just take what's accessible to them right
That's
there.
what I'm saying,
and
yeah.
it's easy. Yeah.
Yeah, and then under 17, 18, 19, under 19, bro, I was like, I'm gonna forget about Canada. Like, I'm just gonna do my path and all this. Do pretty good. Under 21 selects me, and when that happens, the Federation of Portugal had to ask the papers to the Canadian Association because I represented Canada
Yeah.
internationally. So like, there's a bunch of paperwork and all that. This happens. Portugal asks for the documents. That's when Canada's like, oh, we have this player in
Yeah.
Portugal. You know what I'm saying? And back then they were like, oh, don't go. And I said, no, you guys didn't care about me for like 3-4 years now. And to be honest, like the honor I had to represent Portugal, it's amazing. You know, the players that I played with and all that. It was a very good experience back then. You guys can after upload a picture, like João Félix, Ruben Dias, Jetson, Jota, all these stuff.
It's a good generation, huh?
Those are guys on my team, bro.
Good generation.
No, it's amazing. Diogo Dalot, very, very good players. And then that's when John Herman contacted me saying, you know, we want you to be a part of this and all that. And I said, you know, listen, let me be with under 21s. I don't know what's going on. Let me just finish this path and then we'll see. Bro, and then when the under 21 finished, I look at the first team, bro, and I'm like, this is like Portugal to I'm a happy Portuguese guy. We have the best team probably in the world on paper.
Yeah, you always say this, man. You always say this.
Yeah, you have a good team.
We have the best team.
I don't believe, but I think you're maybe top 5
Yeah.
for sure in the world.
With,
I would agree.
With France and
France, England, Brazil.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, we're the top, but that's my opinion.
It's okay.
Back then, I had in my under 21 team Ruben Neves, that was being selected for the first team.
Yeah.
Renato Sanchez back then was starting to make his steps on the first team. Bruno Fernandes, Danilo.
Yeah.
Like top quality players. And I'm like, Jetson back then was like
Benfica,
starting to playing for Benfica, like baller, going to the first team now. And I'm like, am I gonna like fight for it and wait and probably like be selected for a friendly against Iceland and then never go again? Or should I just embrace this opportunity of playing for Canada?
Yeah.
Obviously, because back then they're already talking about a 2026 World Cup.
Already back then, they were speaking about it.
For sure. And then John
was selling that story.
Yeah, probably.
John was selling that story.
John is smart, man. John is smart. And then John was telling me, you know, there's the Qatar 2022 World Cup. It's going to be hard, but it's possible and this and that. And I said, like, let's go for it, you know. I'd rather have like 100 caps for Canada than probably never being selected for Portugal. So, yeah, I'm very happy with my decision.
Well, did he play a big part in your decision, John? Or obviously you had to play some type of part, but mostly it was your thinking and what you wanted for your career?
I think his patience of just letting me decide back then, you know what I mean? And like in every FIFA window, John would text me or call me saying like, good luck with Portugal and all this and all that. And bro, to be honest, like him being a coach, obviously, was a big part of it. And my family, when I told my mother and my father this, they were very proud, you know, like because they lived in Canada for 10 years. They're like, "Whoa, that's like that's amazing news and all that." Yeah, but to be honest, like I get to go meet guys like you that are amazing, bro. So yeah, I'm very happy, man. I'm very happy.
Appreciate that. So, what do the next few years look like for you? Well, what are you thinking? Because obviously there was a lot of rumors that maybe you leave. Maybe you leave Porto this season, you go somewhere else. There was links with MLS. So, you know, what's the plan for a couple of years and what happened during the summer?
To be honest, bro, those links with MLS, I don't know why. My brother was always like sending me print screens of the MLS, like Toronto FC fans saying for me to come back. That was never an option, to be honest. I want to clarify that. Just because at the stage I'm at, I'm 27. I'm happy at Porto. I understand that I'm a very important player for the team because I'm one of the most, not the oldest players, but I've been there for 4 seasons. And you know how it is, like when you have experience, like European experience and all that with these youngsters that come up.
Yeah, for sure.
It's always important to have an older guy with experience there. And, you know, I feel that my job is appreciated. And 27, I think, you know, I'm in a good stage of my life. I'm happy at Porto. The city is amazing. My teammates are amazing. The club is fantastic. The fans are amazing. We play European. Like, I have everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I wanted to play every minute of every competition.
Yeah, like every player
But
does.
obviously, sometimes it's not possible. You just have to respect it, work hard, and to be honest, I'm very happy at the place I am right now.
Obviously, it can apply to all of us because we play in Europe, but as a player that plays in Europe, do you feel like that extra pressure when you come back here to in a way elevate the levels and show something different?
Here, when I play with the national team, that's what you're
Yeah.
asking? To be honest, no. For me, no. I think the way you perform doesn't have to do with the club you're at the moment. You know what I mean? Because let's say almost all of the World Cup qualifying campaign, I was at Paços de Ferreira.
Yeah.
At the World Cup, I was playing for Porto. That didn't mean I needed to do a better World Cup than I did the qualifying. You know what I mean? Like, for me, the pressure we have right now at the national team is imposed by the levels we already showed, not by the past of the federation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there wasn't a better team before us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if there's pressure now, it's because we want to be better than we were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, to be honest, if we were the best team, we're the best players to make that happen. So the pressure is just like continue to do our thing, because I hope Canada has better teams in the future.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I know as well that on paper, it's going to be hard in 10, 20, 30 years for Canada national team to have different players at the same level that we are right now.
You think?
I think so. This is me.
Okay.
This is me.
Okay. Well, this is something we'll have to wait to see. But I think...
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so, by Bayern Munich, Lille, Porto, Mallorca, Besiktas back
Inter
then.
Milan,
Atiba,
Marseille.
If, if you see now, if you start looking, Celtic, if you start looking like 8 years ago, we didn't have none.
Yeah.
Marseille.
Yeah, he said Marseille. He said
I said,
Marseille. Does the grassroots of the country make you believe that's going to happen? For me, no.
Not right.
Okay.
Not right now.
Then, yeah.
You understand? Okay.
But just before we go there, you said we're the best team. We're the best team Canada's ever had. But I think watch out, when you say this.
Okay.
Because obviously I think if you go player for player, yes, we can say this. But we haven't won nothing.
True.
And there's been Canada teams that won trophies.
True.
So it's hard to say
think-
best, but we need to back it up in a way.
I think it's just more. The more you do well, the more expectation. We made it to a semifinals of Copa America. I think the more we do well, we keep winning games. People expect better.
course.
Expect
Yeah.
to do better. Expect
Yeah.
to win. Basically,
I think, and we should. We should win.
We should, yeah.
We already won the Gold Cup, the Canada back
Yeah.
then. Obviously, like, total respect to them. They did something we never did. But if we do, does that make us the best?
Of course.
Okay. That's
Of
what I'm
course.
saying.
Of course.
How about back-to-back World Cup participations?
Also,
Okay.
but there's always that thing with
understand.
trophies.
I understand. And for me, we should have trophies.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, your career is the money you make and the trophies you win.
Yeah.
Period. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Am I right? Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
I'm not
You're
wrong.
not wrong.
He's not wrong, but he's not right.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
So to go to the grassroots of the country,
Okay.
I agree with what you're saying, but in a way, you have to see that now we have a league in the country,
Yeah.
the CPL, and with every year it's growing.
Yeah.
You have players leaving CPL that are going to the Belgium League, an example, the guy from Forge.
Yeah.
So I understand if it's not from the CPL, where is it coming from?
Exactly.
This, I completely agree with you. Because not everyone gets the chance to play in the CPL or has that chance, you know?
Yeah.
So then where are we finding these players from after? And this, I agree with you.
I agree with you, but what I want to say is that the players we have right now, they didn't go through the CPL, obviously, because the league is new and all that. The players we have right now is because their parents are Canadian and this and that, whatever. Which is like my example. My parents, they were in Canada. I never played in the CPL. Is the CPL strong enough to put players in the national team in 10, 20 years? I think there should be more CPL teams, not like 8. I think there are 8.
Yeah.
I think there should be more, more infrastructure, more quality coaches. And then at the end of the day, just players wanting to be professional footballers and play for Canada, you know? And I think, to be honest, and you guys know that my brother is a coach at York, they're doing things pretty good. I just want to, when we leave the national team, because that's going to happen, I hope like the next generation or, 2 generations can fill our spots and be even better. Be even better, bro. That's what we want, right?
Of course.
That's what we want.
Of course.
So, I mean, it's a hard topic to talk about, but at the end of the day, we should talk about this, man.
I agree. I think I spoke a lot about this on another episode we had. So yeah, I completely agree with you. I think it's something we should speak more about, but there's a lot of politics that comes into play, and that's the most difficult part.
I know.
But I think once we get past that part, that we can start to grow the country even in a better way, because to have a country this big, we should have amazing players all over.
I agree.